Hello, everyone, and welcome to our today's session. We are so happy that you are today with us, guys. My name is Alina, and I'm an Education USA advisor. And as you remember from our previous webinars, these 2 months, specifically September and October, are dedicated to webinars that we are conducting with our regional advisors. And those webinars in September have been dedicated to undergraduate students, and in October, we're going to talk about the steps and about the struggles that graduate students are facing. So here you have on the screen a QR code that will allow you to scan it and go to our website. There you'll find more information about our future events. Please subscribe to them and submit your question in advance, because always we are trying to answer those at the webinars that we are holding. So I've already mentioned that September is dedicated to undergraduate students, and today we're going to talk about a topic that is sometimes very challenging and sometimes also very relieving for the students who are preparing their application and specifically their recommendation letters, and they are working now on their Common App. So if you need to know more information about the extracurricular activities, this webinar is dedicated to you. And I have here my colleague from Education USA Georgia, Elene, that is going to provide to us a very interesting presentation, and I'm more than sure that you're going to enjoy it. So give us your support, submit your question in the chat. We're also going to have Q&A session that will allow you to address your questions and to answer your question. So thank you so much, Eleni, for joining us today.
Thank you.
I'm just gonna address you the floor and you can take it, but thank you so much for accepting. I'm very sure that the students will enjoy to know whom our advisor in Georgia is. So you can maybe start introducing yourself and tell us a bit about your experience.
Absolutely.
And then we can move to the presentation.
Thank you. Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar. I'm Elene Berekashvili from EducationUSA Georgia. I've been advisor for over 10 years with the experience of working with so many students who continued their studies in the United States. I'm always grateful and happy to have this profession of advising young students. I'm really glad you could join us today, and we will talk about the application components that go beyond grades and test scores, but can make a real difference in admissions decisions. Why these really matter? Extracurricular activities and recommendations. Grades and test scores are important everywhere. We all agree. But US universities also want to know who you are as a person. Recommendation letters and extracurricular activities give them a fuller picture of your character, of your values, and of potential contributions to their campus, to the campus life, to their universities. They play a big role in admissions because the colleges, use a holistic review process when applying to the U.S. universities. They are looking at more than just grades. Maybe you have already heard about this holistic evaluation. They want to see your personal qualities and how you contribute to your school and your community. And these elements help admissions officers understand the real you, right? Real you beyond academics. Strong recommendations and meaningful activities can set you apart from other hundreds of equally qualified applicants. Next, please, Alina. So, next. So what makes a strong recommendation letter? So a strong recommendation letter should give admissions officers insight into your character, as we already mentioned, and plus academic abilities and ambitions. It could include specific examples, not those just you are hardworking, for example, but how you have demonstrated persistence in class or, say, leadership in a project. The most powerful letters show your impact, and remember this word, impact on others and how you stand out. So the word impact we will always use during our presentation today. Okay, could you please, Alina, next slide. Okay, when we talk about strong recommendation letters, a few elements make them really stand out. First element is specific examples, right? Like, for example, saying John organized a peer tutoring program that helps 15 classmates improve their grades in math. This shows real impact. Also, personal insight. The writer shares what they really know about you, right? A good letter balances academics and character, and often includes comparison and context. Like, one of the top 5 students I've taught in 20 years. It should feel authentic and enthusiastic, not just generic. And a strong letter connects your strengths to future success, showing why you will thrive in the college environment and beyond the college environment. Here on the screen, you see 3 versions of one and the same recommendation letter, right? Context. And just quickly go through that just to see what makes a stronger impact and what gives admissions officers a stronger feeling about you. Maria is a good student. She always does her homework on time and is polite in class. I think she would do well at your university. Okay, it's okay. It gives information about you. It says that there is a recommender who has a really good opinion about you, but it's really plain, right? There's another also version. Maria has been in my history class for 2 years. She consistently participates and submits her assignments on time. She is well liked by her peers and shows responsibility in her work. Okay, so this also is a kind of average, vague interpretation of the same idea. And what both of these lack is a real story, right? These are just some evaluation from your teachers or supervisors and not something specific. Now let's look at the third one. Maria demonstrates exceptional initiative. For example, she led our school's debate team to win a national competition, mentoring younger students along the way. Her ability to balance leadership with teamwork has left a lasting impact on our program. So here is everything, right? There is a specific story beyond words, right? There is that exemplifies what the recommender says, right? Proves this. And also the vision of the recommender, what this, how far this student could go, right? Okay. Here, could you please, Alina, next? Yeah, choosing recommenders. Well, choosing recommenders is also a really important thing to consider, right? Uh, Please choose recommenders you know well and those that know you very well. These are ideally teachers from core academic subjects or mentors who can comment on your growth and strengths, mentors at different projects outside school, for example. It's better to ask someone who knows you personally than someone very prestigious. In most of the countries in our region, I would say prestigious people as something that we usually refer to, right? Right? We like prestigious people to show that we have their support. But here, it is no, a big no, until that prestigious person knows you personally. Okay. Um, so please choose a person who can write specifics about you and not write a generic note that this person is a good student and has outstanding academics for over 11 years at school, right? We don't need this. So always approach them early. So this is also a tip. Explain your goals and also provide them with the information they need. Next, Alina. So here we have tips for how to choose a recommender for both audiences, for graduate applicants and for undergraduate applicants. Um, um, so, Alina, is there undergraduate applicants slide? Yeah, that's it. Thank you. Okay, so core subject teachers, right? These are academic teachers. They are especially from math field, science, literature, history, and they reflect academic strengths. And their recommendations are usually extremely important. So how you're doing in class. Then you can apply to those who know you well, right? Who know you personally. Again, this could be a teacher or also a mentor from a project who has observed your growth, leadership, or initiative beyond grades, preferably for many years, right? For a bigger period of time. Not only think about years, 3 months, 1 year, okay? So the more, the better. Also, please think about this, that you should avoid prestige without detail. I've already mentioned this. So a high-ranking official or principal who barely knows you will usually write a generic letter, right? Which is less effective than detailed one from a classroom teacher, be sure. And the last here, you should maintain balance, right? When choosing recommenders, you should take into mind that you need to highlight breadth. So, if possible, choose recommenders who can speak to both your academic skills and personal qualities at the same time. For example, there's a teacher who one for extracurricular, and also there's a mentor or two core subject teachers and one extracurricular mentors or coaches. Right. Now let's talk about graduate recommenders, right, for graduate students. In this case, we need to refer to professors, right, in your field. Some students sometimes have offered me, it happened that they wanted someone from school because they had really outstanding history at school, but no, please. You need someone recent, right? Current. So professors are a great choice, and specifically in your field. Um, Ideally, these are those who taught or supervised you in courses or projects that are closely related to your intended graduate study. Also, research supervisors, these are great. If you completed a thesis, it's not necessarily, but if you have completed a thesis during your bachelor studies, or a research project, or lab work, so anything connected to science or to your field at the university level, the supervising professor can provide a really strong context. And then professional supervisors as well, if relevant. Not all the students, bachelor students, have work experience, right, or internship experience. So those who have professional experience, they can refer to their professional supervisors, right? A manager or project leader who can really speak to your analytical leadership or problem solving skills. Really great. And here as well, you need balance, right? Balance academic and professional between them. US graduate schools and US graduate programs often prefer two academic recommenders, right? But adding one professional letter can strengthen your application, especially if it relates to your field. Yeah, and again, please, here's a special tip for the people, for young people living in our region. Letters in our region tend to be neutral and formulaic, right? In many of the of our countries, even in Georgia, students should guide recommenders politely. Because sometimes they do want to help you, but especially school teachers, they may not have idea about proper recommendation for US universities. So here you should explain to them everything and share a resume or list of your accomplishments. Explain the importance of specific examples, or even offer a draft of key points, right? Or we usually say this, offer them brag sheet, like your achievements, your accomplishments listed on the sheet. Right. Shall we go to next? Okay. So clubs, sports, arts, these all are extracurricular activities. Now let's move to extracurricular activities. If you have any questions regarding recommendation letters, we'll get back to it in the Q&A session, right? But now we'll move on to extracurriculars. So what are extracurriculars really? Just like recommendation letters, your activities help admissions officers understand your passions, your values, your leadership, sometimes even better understand, make them understand all this. What counts as an extracurricular? Extracurricular activities include school clubs, sports, volunteer work, part-time jobs, artistic pursuits, even projects you started on your own, but don't think these are worth. Don't worry, they do have their worth, especially if you know why you started this, right? If you have good intention. Don't underestimate informal activities like helping with a family business, or even, right, family business, or organizing a local event, even bringing up your helping your parents, bringing up your sibling, or looking after your sibling. They all reflect responsibility and initiative. And please remember, connect activities to curiosity, empathy, and initiative, right? Whenever you start planning an activity, you should really be involved in that emotionally, physically, so you will that activity will be really valuable. There you will get a perfect EC, the same as extracurricular activity. Next slide, please. Well, this many students worry about whether they are doing enough or right kind of activities, and they often ask something like, should I do as many activities as possible? And the answer is no. Admissions officers are just looking for depth, right? In this case, it's more impressive to show real leadership or growth in one or two activities than to list 10 activities that you barely participated in, right? There's so many students when they show their list of activities, there's participated in that, attended this. Okay, so here you should take a moment, take your time, and think why you participated there, right? Intention is the best thing there to highlight in your activities. The truth is that admissions officers are not looking for a long list of random clubs, right? What they value is meaningful involvement, and the impact, surely, the impact that you have made. When you describe your activities, please think about three things: your role, what exactly did you do there, and your impact. As I already mentioned, impact is the most important thing. So your role, what exactly did you do, right? And about as for your responsibility, did you organize? Did you lead? Or did you create something? As for your impact, what changed or what improved because of your involvement or because of your active participation? For example, if instead of just writing volunteered at animal shelter, you could write coordinated weekly volunteer shifts and helped raise $500 for animal care supplies, or raised $500 for animal shelter. See how that shows action and outcome, right? Raised $500 for animal shelter. So it's a really impactful outcome, right? Okay. It's also important to focus on quality, over quantity. Admissions officers would much rather see your dedication. For example, you are dedicated for something for 3 years, developing a school newspaper, or perhaps leading a robotics club, then joining 10 clubs where you barely participated. So consistency, leadership, and growth matter more than numbers. And please don't forget that extracurriculars go beyond formal clubs. Maybe you helped with your family business, right? Took care of siblings, or created an online project. So these all matter. These all also demonstrate your responsibility, your initiative, your creativity. Your goal is to show what really matters to you and how you are contributing to your community. Next, Alina, please. Okay, so there's a story. Let's quickly read this. When some students noticed how much plastic waste their school was producing, they decided to act. They started a recycling initiative, and soon they grew into a team of 25 students. Together, they collected more than 1,000 bottles in just 3 months. To make it sustainable, they organized presentations to over 200 students about environmental awareness. What began as a small idea became a project that changed their school's approach to recycling and taught the students how leadership can create real impact. Now we have the story, and now we can look at three different interpretations of one and the same story as activities in the Common App. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, one is goes like interested in environment recycling club. This is too vague, informal, and no measurable impact, right? Just words. But it states the fact, but says nothing absolutely about the impact. Then there is another neutral form of variation of the same story. Member attended meetings, gave 2 presentations. Okay, there's some more sat there with 2 presentations that gives an idea to admissions officer that, okay, that's participation, not only participation, but 2 presentations. That's a really good participation, but still says nothing. I would rather avoid this. And there's the third one. Founded a recycling initiative at school, coordinating 25 volunteers, collected and recycled over 1,000 plastic bottles in 3 months, raising awareness through presentations to 200 plus students. Or if we consider the limit, character limit in Common App extracurricular activity section, we can just say founded recycling initiative, 25 volunteers, 1,000 bottles recycled. Active verbs, right? Only verbs. And here we really see the impact. We see the initiative. We see the scale of the work we did, and also we read the measurable results. Right? We should move from interest to participation. This is the takeaway from all this. Interest to participation, and what is most important, this is initiative and impact. Please show this impact, initiative to impact, right? Not just interest and participation. Next slide, please. Okay. Right. Common questions we got so many questions from you, and there are some these questions usually travel in different generations and our cohorts. Like, let's look at some of common mistakes. Some of these questions. What extracurriculars stand out if I attend online school? Right? Okay, you can, there's online clubs, right? Sometimes even those when you participated in social media, you have gathered really big audience in social media, and you did special courses for peers and or for some interest groups. What if I want to be a psychology major but don't have related to ECs? Have related issues. Okay, you could go and help some people, right? You can also volunteer at elderly house, right? These are all activities that show your empathy to others, and this is also related to your psychology major. Could be related, right? Wonderful. Really great extracurriculars. Are Erasmus exchanges good for EC? Yes, definitely. All, all international exchanges are great for extracurriculars. What about music or theater? They are not related to my field. Music and theater give really great insight in you as a person and personality. So they also really matter on your application in your application forms as extracurricular activities. So mine all this. Okay, next slide. And yeah, we just need to avoid some common mistakes. Listing too many activities without context. We covered this, but we're just going to kind of sum up all the things. Admissions officers don't just want a long list, right? They want to understand what you did. Then another mistake is generic or superficial recommendation letters. Letter that simply says the student is hardworking and polite doesn't really work and help. Strong letters should include concrete examples that show your strengths and character. And finally, avoid all exaggeration, right? Exaggerating achievements. Sometimes many of the students do because they want to like, over show themselves to the admissions officers. So they really appreciate you do something that sounds realistic, not unrealistic. Honesty and authenticity are always better. Even a small, genuine accomplishment can be more powerful than a big, inflated one. And some final tips. With few practical tips, right? Showcase your strengths at any level. Focus on growth and impact. Talk about what you learned, how you improved, how you helped others, and again, be authentic and reflective. Don't just list activities or achievements. Share them as what they mean to you and how they shaped you, right? Okay, thank you so much for joining today's session and for listening to all the presentation. And I hope this gave you useful insight into how recommendation letters and extracurricular activities can strengthen your US application. Now I'll be happy to take your questions. Thank you,
Yes,
Elena.
we have a bunch of them. Thank you
Helping
so
me.
much, Elene. Thank you. Even though you answered many of them, and I will not repeat them specifically for those who addressed them in advance, but some of them anyway are unique. So we're gonna try to answer as many of them as possible. Okay, so one of the first question was how to show your values in your extracurricular list. If you have a really meaningful activity there you achieved a lot, how to show it best.
Okay, so you think about your initiative, right? You had so this is a value. Let's start from this, and then how you developed this initiative, right? You translated it into action. So you started doing something, and then you had a great outcome or good outcome, whatever. You show the outcome, right? So these three things: initiative, interest, and impact. These if these three things are there in the activity, in the explanation and description of the activity, then you really show them.
Yes, thank you.
Have I answered this?
Yes, sure, definitely. Then we move to the next one. I face a problem that is just not enough space for all the impact of this activity, or there is ignored my growth. So I think that's a problem that all the students are facing. They have only 150
Yes, they
characters.
sometimes cannot
Yeah.
fit there. Yeah, characters are all limited. And so
Mhm.
in that case, please think about most important things. And again, focus um, on the initiative um, and impact. Okay, on the initiative and in the impact. And please, you can. That's also good tip to take out some of the uh, subjects, right? I did this, I did that. No, this did this, right? Did that. Okay, you just take I and try to take out interjections or some and or and things like this. Okay, then you will fit your extracurriculars. But if you can't fit really great extracurricular in just one or two sentence, just a statement, you could there's one other section for your additional information on the common app where you could include if that's really meaningful, right? If
Yes.
that's really meaningful, you could include that information there in that section. Or there's another also possibility to really share your story, great story, in your essay, like personal essay. Or again, there are some universities who ask supplemental essays, and in those supplementals, usually you have opportunity to express what you have done and how you have been involved in everything as a person.
Thank you. I can also be shortly say also some of the things that we also advise our students to focus on when they would fill out their extracurricular activities in Common App, and that's specifically metrics. So admission officers, they love the metrics. So if they would see
Exactly.
their specific numbers on your achievement, then you are brilliant. You will stand out because there you can specify exactly the name of the position you've held in that activity. Let's say if that was leadership or something else, then you can say the number of the sessions, presentations, or everything that you have done
Hmm.
there, the money collected, and then the impact that it had made. I don't know, in the end, you've saved some lives, or in the end, you helped so many people. So, yes, be more specific and include the numbers. That's super helpful. Okay, the
Absolutely.
next question is, what is a proper way to write a description of activities? What structure should I use for extracurricular list? How can I choose which activities to write about? So here is the thing about that you've mentioned kind of in the presentation
Hmm.
about the the quality over quantity. So how would they select that? How they what is the correct focus they need to put on when they would select the activities they have?
Again, they should look for the value, right, of the activity. Um, they really know, so those students who, when they come with those activities, and I ask some questions to them, they, when they are honest, they say, okay, I just participated in this.
Mm-hmm.
And the activities they really engage themselves, they surely know what makes value to them. So that's all about being authentic and being honest, and in, in, in just showing what you did. So please mostly focus on the activities that have metrics and also have impact. So this
Yes,
is
I
this is
totally
the
agree.
yeah, the pattern that you have to, the tip that you have to follow.
And 3 or 4 more extracurricular activities is going to be more than enough to list in your extracurricular list if those have impact and those have metrics, if you have really participated and dedicated your time. And this is what the admission officers would pay attention to. I mean, less maybe activities, but more focus on them. That would
Hmm.
show the commitment and the dedication you allowed
Yeah,
to
again,
a ways of spending. Yeah.
that's quality over quantity, right?
Mm-hmm.
You should show the depth of your participation there.
Totally agree. The next question: how to get recommendation letter for Common App if you just transferred from a school and none of the teachers know you? That's a good one.
Yeah, okay. So that's what is important is the teacher that knows you really well. So
Mm-hmm.
uh, you could have one teacher from the school where you stayed for longer, right? So it's not necessarily that the teacher is currently teaching you, right? Especially if you have only 1 month of acquaintance with that teacher. Okay, you can opt for that one, but maybe you had some really memorable thing or really valuable activity done together in that 1 month.
Mm-hmm.
That changes things, right? But please focus on someone who uh, really knows you, who has so close to you that really can speak of the experience working with you. That's really important. Alina, you might have some more to add to
I
this.
totally agree with that. Yes, I
Mhm.
mean, the admission officers would definitely encourage the school counselors to be one of the recommenders. Then you can have as an option also your teachers. You can have as an option maybe someone that you are working in a community with.
Yeah.
But it's also a very important thing that I wanted to highlight is the major that you are applying for. Because if, for instance, if you're applying for a STEM, for example, then it's, I think, very important, as Elena mentioned, that you would refer to your math teacher or your biology, chemistry teacher from your previous school, because you had kind of a more in-depth or a more, I don't know, a better relationship, let's say, and they got to know you better than the one you have now in your current school. So yes, I totally agree. Great. The next question: how much weight do recommendation letters usually carry compared to grades and test scores? That's a good one.
Yeah, what I've already mentioned that it's in my presentation that universities, most of the universities have holistic evaluation of
Yes.
your the entire application. So that means that recommendation letters plus extracurricular activities are same way important as the grades and test scores. So so remember this. you also need to stand out in these elements as well. So
Yeah.
it's I wouldn't say it's more it has more weight. It kind of it's the balance. It gives balance to your application and
Overall, yeah.
shows you as a person and as a future professional to the admissions officer.
And also, you can see from the minimum requirements list of the university or the college you want to apply, what is the average GPA, or
Hmm.
what is the average
Exactly,
score for any
exactly.
test, or for any, I don't know, or for the recommendation letters. Because yes, there are indeed some institutions that would pay more attention to the test scores and to the grades. They kind of be on the first.
Hmm.
They kind of are in the first and the second place when they would review your application. But for other institutions, that might be crucial. I mean, having a good recommendation letter for you, because that gives them the understanding that the transcripts kind of are equal
Hmm.
to your GPA, or to your or to the recommendation letter. Great. The next question: how to approach recommenders who say to write the letter and they will sign it? And we have a bunch of them, I think, in our region. A bunch of professors that will, okay, prepare it yourself, and I will just sign it. What the student needs to know.
Yeah, unfortunately, we have so many teachers that recommenders that say this. So what you should know is uh, be mindful. Um, Please explain to them. Still try to get them do it right on your own. Just share your I mentioned this brag sheet or your accomplishments to them and explain what really matters when writing a recommendation letter. Okay, once you get them sit down to write your recommendation letter, then that's great. But in other case, yeah, you might go to next one. Okay, there's always someone
Another option.
who can do it for you.
Mhm.
Yeah, we would rather recommend to do this
Yeah. Thank you.
because
The
honesty
next,
is everything here.
yeah. The next question: can we use mainly the same recommendation letter more than once? For example, the second year of applying after taking a gap year.
um, Quite maybe you can use, but by all means, please update with activities, with some experiences. Don't just use that one. I mean,
Mhm.
you can use the form that you have already created, like last year, but please update that. Don't just leave on the activities or on the things you have shared in that recommendation letter.
Thank you. Okay, the next question: how can we know if the extracurricular activities are relevant to our application or personal statement?
That's an interesting question. Extracurricular activities are relevant to the statement, so it's totally up to you to ensure this, right? Um, they should equal each other, right? They shouldn't be some other things when it comes to extracurricular activities. For example, you talk you just have there everything about sports, and then in your interests in your primary interests and your field of study is for example math, but you have totally different extracurricular activities, right? They should equal. There should be balance. So this is something you have to take into account, right?
Yes. Thank
balance.
you.
They should be complementary, kind of. Should echo each, and so the recommendation letters, extracurricular activities, your essay, they should be different um, aspects of one person, or aspects that shadow each other, right? So they so that you give you he- uh, give the person multifaceted, but it's just one person.
Okay, thank you. The next one, how to make strong portfolio from scratch in 4 years, milking admission to a master's degree. I think that's a good one. That's someone that is preparing himself or herself for application.
Exactly. Okay, strong portfolio from scratch, and in 4 years. So that is really big time to really focus on this. Um, okay, so you please, firstly, you need to get into really mindful activities, right? You need to get in touch with supervisors, with uh, some professors. Ask them that you probably are going to pursue your studies in 4 years' time, right? And constantly be on this track. So try to look for some internships related to your field. These all build up your experience, and be mindful about your initiatives. So have initiatives, and also focus on this. Um, Okay, so this mostly. Also, please take care of your grades at the university, right? So you have to think about all these things simultaneously.
I agree totally. Okay, the next one from a 10th grader. If I'm now in my 10th grade, what should I do at first? If I want to get full financial aid, which score at IELTS and SAT I should have? What kind of extracurriculars I need to make and how? I'm confused.
Okay, right. So you're in 10th grade. That means you have pretty much time to consider some really great things to do, right? Um, okay, go ahead and think about starting a new club, or so that if I know your field, that would change things for me to give a even closer recommendation. But all in all, you have to think about your own maybe initiatives, or also go and ask school administration if there are any competitions, or really important events nationwide or internationally, or on the regional wide, where you can show yourself as a successful student. So, but you need to show success. You need to prove that you are a really great student, so that admissions officers look at you and say that yes, this is the one that should fit, that we should take, and this is the one who will fit into our culture, into our university, into our mission. So this is really important. Also, consider that your grade should be always on high level, and yes, and prepare for tests, standardized tests. That's also a great thing to have outstanding. So, as more scores, more chances to get full round scholarships. But that's really something you really need to work hard for.
Yes, those 2 years, the final 2 years, I think are most of the hardest ones. Okay, we'll take one more question here from the students that have addressed them in advance, and then we'll move to the chat. If I have less honors and extracurricular activities but have good grades, will I be able to have full rate?
Okay, again, as Alina mentioned, if the university has prioritizes academics over extracurriculars and the recommendations, then there might be. But still, I wouldn't encourage this thing, because even in that case, admissions officers always look at extracurriculars and recommendations. So please consider extracurricular activities. Do some really you don't need to do tens of them. You just can start one or two and really integrate in that and have impact. E- even you just think about this. We can't offer you the unfortunately the activity, but it's up to you to think about this. Maybe that's something that it's quick and just a short period of time, but really impactful. Just think about this.
It's interesting to know also what less honors and extracurricular activities means. Maybe the
Exactly.
person has 3 extracurricular activities or 4, and he considers or she that this is less, but this is not less. So if that had
Hmm.
impact and all that, then maybe you should not worry. Then maybe you're fine. So yes, you should refer to your Education USA advisor in your country.
Exactly. And that's
I
all
think they
about
will
wording, how you
help.
offer this. Yeah. You
Yes,
sometimes students do not realize that they have participated in
sufficient.
extracurricular
Yes,
activities, and
yes,
when they approach us, we usually make them see that yes, that's an extracurricular activity.
yeah, where they are
Go
too
use it.
critical about
Yeah, yeah,
themselves,
absolutely.
they would not
They're so critical
praise
sometimes.
themselves
Hmm.
sufficiently. Okay, and one more question here in the chat. Will a letter from my professor from a renowned university college allowed for a recommendation of me? Is that okay to have that from your professor?
If that's your professor and she knows you really well, um, and yeah, wonderful if he is from a renowned university and college.
Yeah, then you should be fine.
Hmm.
Great. So I think we are done with basically all of the questions. If someone will have more of them after this webinar, please go on our website and check what is the
Hmm.
nearest Education USA center you have in your region. And I'm more than sure that my colleagues will help you and will advise you for free, by the way. So we'd love to hear your thoughts about any webinar that we are providing to you guys. Next month, we're going to dedicate it to graduate students of all those who are preparing their application or are in the process of researching their postgraduate degree in the US. You can submit your question in advance and let us know what you think. So yes, submit your thoughts here, scanning this QR code. I see one more question in the chat, and we'll answer
Hmm.
that. So thank you. If I have IELTS 8.0 and preparing for the November SAT, but I have few extracurriculars, what should I do? I'm in the 11th grade, major international relations.
Right. It's somehow echoes the question that we usually
Answer.
we
Yeah,
already answered. Yes, you still have time to schedule or to start doing something really exceptional,
yeah. Mhm.
or maybe think about what you have already done, and there might be something there that could work as a really wonderful extracurricular. But
Activity.
please think about the outcomes, the impacts of the that might be just a simple thing, but it might have a really great outcome. For example, if you helped your parent bring up your sibling, right? The sibling that was really weak in math, and you had this initiative. You decided to improve him or her in math class, and you tried hard. You helped him, and in the end of the year, he really got great grades. Right. So this is a thing. This is also an impact that you really did. Right. Okay.
Yes.
Think about some things that are not that bright, but on their own they represent your efforts, your you doing some impact. Don't look at this word impact as something really a thing.
Crucial word. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
I agree.
Don't just worry about impact. Just look at the impact in a simple way, right? Doing good for others.
Yeah. And
That's the thing.
also, there are a lot of short activities, if I may add here. So maybe there are
Mm-hmm.
some community activity, I don't know, cleanup day, for example, because in autumn we do a
Uh-huh.
lot of them.
Absolutely.
Or you go to, I don't know, to do some, I don't know, forestry things,
Mm-hmm.
or you help some NGOs that you have in your country, because your major is kind of related to international relations. Or if you are, I don't know, a volunteer at an American center in your country, or you are volunteering in flags or some other
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
international projects that you have available in a country for youth, that can also be considered as an extracurricular activity. So
Yeah.
there are a bunch of options for
Mm-hmm.
sure. Don't be stressed about that. And
It's all about values.
yeah.
What you are thinking, the way you are thinking, the way you are interacting with the rest of the world, right? Just show this.
Yes, I totally agree. And reach out to your Education USA
Yeah,
advisor.
absolutely.
They will assist you during the process for sure.
Mhm.
Okay, thank you so much, guys, for staying with us today even longer than we are planning for every webinar. That means that it was interesting, and I really hope you enjoyed our today's webinar. Sign up for our future webinars and let us know your feedback and your thoughts, what you expect more, maybe some topics that we haven't yet discussed. On our YouTube channel, there are available a bunch of webinars on different topics that we already did. So if those will help you during your path, I will be more than happy to hear your feedback in that QR code that we already have shared. Thank you, Eleni, so much for your expertise. I wish you a lot of good students, a lot of students that are dedicated and are appreciating the efforts of the Education USA advisors in Georgia. And yes, thank you for the presentation. For those who didn't have the chance to watch us today, there is the recording that is going to be saved on our YouTube channel. So please watch that and let us know if you'll have some additional questions. We'll be more than happy to help you. Thank you once more and wish you a great, great evening.
Thank you.